प्रमोट साइड को करके दे राइट साइड so just for now for anthem no need
I request the chief guest of location, Sri Manoj Aujata, and Director General to inaugurate the conference.
manually करते three they are writing the don't go for preset adjust manually you can adjust no?
So by here only we can control it. From remote only we can control the camera.
And adjust manually into remote don't go
May I now request the Director General, sir, to welcome the chief guest to the stage. Let me have the honor of welcoming our Director General to the stage. I request our Director General to give welcome address. Please be seated.
Good morning to all of you. Namaskar to everyone. Respected chief guest of today's ceremony, Sri Manoj Ahuja ji, Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Passing out students who are going to receive degrees and medals today, their family members, alumni of Manage, heads of neighboring institutions, Manage family, media, ladies and gentlemen. We are also happy to have the gracious presence of the first Director General of Manage, Sri Suresh Kumar ji, in this program. Also the first Director, Sri Dr. Desai, is also present here. Welcome to you all. First of all, thank you sir for your love and affection for the organization. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students of Manage who are going to receive their degrees and awards. This auspicious day is a dream come true for all the hardworking Manage students. We are privileged to have the gracious presence of Sri Manoj Ahuja ji, Secretary, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, and also the Chairman of Executive Council of Manage as Chief Guest of the Convocation. Sir, Manage family is grateful to you for your physical presence. On behalf of entire Manage family, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to respected Secretary Sir as Chief Guest of the 7th Convocation Ceremony of Manage. It is my religious duty to introduce the respected Chief Guest to the distinguished audience. Sri Manoj Ahuja ji is an IAS officer of 1990 batch from Odisha, Kedar. He holds BE Mechanical Engineering from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala, MBA from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and Masters in Public Administration, International Development from Harvard University, USA. He also served as Chairman, Central Board of Secondary Education, worked as Special Director of Lal Bahadur Academy, Shastri Academy, National Academy of Administration, Mussoorie. He also worked in various capacities in his cadre in departments of Agriculture, Steel and Mines, Food and Civil Supplies. Presently, he is Secretary to Government of India, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare from April 1st, 2022. Welcome to you, sir, on behalf of management. This occasion is very special to Manage as 26th batch of PGDM ABM is passing out successfully from Manage with 100% placement. The packages offered by agribusiness companies to our students have been better than all the previous years. Senior alumni of Manage are occupying very responsible positions in agribusiness companies and leading agribusiness revolution in this country. Many self-motivated, self-employed alumni of Manage have made a very good mark and impact on the ground by serving farmers better. Today is the day where Manage dream comes true while attaining the vision for which the program was initiated. Agriculture is changing, hence agribusiness must change. Our program is not an exception. As advised by Honorable Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, when he inaugurated this building, Rishi Chanakya, last year, 26th of August, we have increased intake of students from 66 to 100 this year. The students represent 46 universities, 19 states. Mini India lives in Manage campus. First time in the history of Manage, the students were sent to international exposure and study visit to Nottingham University, Malaysia. Rationalization of credits have been done to balance the workload and relevance of subjects. Large number of philanthropies, alumni of agribusiness companies offered cash prizes to large number of students for topping different subjects and trimesters. Samanmaya series of lecture where industry leaders share their experiences with the students is progressing with more vigor, involving more alumni and more agribusiness companies. In continuation, Manage proposed to extend the horizon of this program by adding international executives, international students. We would like to support the program with good infrastructure, addition of new courses, and strengthening international collaborations. Education is one of the activities of Manage. Otherwise, traditionally around 5,000 officers are trained physically in Manage every year. In recent years, we have increased the reach out by 10 times by introducing online programs, strengthening Government of India schemes implementation, and relaying competent public and private institutions spread across the country as partners. Besides, Manage is further closely working with ministry and different states more intensively. At national level, survey of natural farming training 56,000 gram products under natural farming, taking the feedback from 10,000 farmers across the country on Prime Minister Fasal Bima Yojana are the few examples of intensive partnership with the ministry. Besides, consultancy project of natural farming for Himachal government, input supply management project for Assam, and organizing more than 100 programs, capacity building programs for Orissa officials are the few examples for our deepening relationship with states. Manage takes the pride in creating impact at the ground by taking role of implementing agency of several ministry schemes. Manage has trained more than 86,000 unemployed agriculture graduates under Agri Clinics and Agribusiness Center scheme and established 38,000 agri-ventures in different parts of the country. 74,266 input dealers have been trained under popular Desi program of ministry and 21,960 input dealers are undergoing training. More than 17,000 officials from different states upgraded their qualification through postgraduate diploma in agri extension management. 50,688 rural youth have been trained in agricultural development under skill training of rural youth program. Manage is working with around 2,000 agri startups. Interestingly, response from international executives for managed programs is overwhelming. Last year, we have distributed 48 certificates to postgraduate diploma in agri extension management executives of Ugandan executives from Indian embassy from Kampala. It was just like a overseas convocation of Manage. It was organized from Indian embassy in Kampala. Manage is mandated and cultured to explore innovations and pilot testing. Jai Jawan Kisan for attracting and retaining ex-servicemen from defense forces who are 60,000 in number in agriculture. This is one innovative program. August 14th, the first batch is going to start with 50 ex-servicemen coming from different parts of the country who are interested in agriculture after retirement. Seva for using retired professionals in mainstream extension activities. National Network of Agriculture Journalists for motivating journalists to write more on agriculture. Manage FPO Academy to build capacity of stakeholders in FPO management. CSR Forum to attract CSR funds to agriculture. Agriculture Film Festival to take agriculture films to the doorstep of extension workers are few innovations being tested by Manage at present, which are appreciated and adapted by many institutions. Manage is thankful to Ministry for giving greater role in implementation of newly emerging areas like natural farming, agri startups, digital agriculture, and many more programs. Manage will continue to give more for the cause of farmers with the support from Ministry, states, alumni, students, partner institutions, and Manage family. I would once again like to welcome respected Secretary Sir as Chief Guest to this convocation function and congratulate and welcome all the graduates who are receiving degrees and medals today. Thank you.
With the permission of the Chief Guest, let me present a brief report on PGDM ABM program of Manage. Chief Guest of the day, Sri Manoj Ahuja sir, faculty, staff, parents, alumni, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to present a report on ABM program of Manage. To begin with, very briefly, let me brief you about the genesis and growth of the ABM program. Manage is well recognized in the country as a concept nursery in the area of agricultural extension management. Even in the sphere of education, Manage is the first in the country to start an exclusive management program in agribusiness management in the year 1996. The ABM program at Manage started with 24 students in the year 1996 and gradually the intake was increased to 30 and then to 35 and 66 till last year. From this academic year onwards, we have increased the intake to 100 students. Since Manage pioneered the agribusiness management program in the country, nearly 240 universities and institutions have started educational programs in agribusiness management. Admission into the program from 2012 is based on CAT score, personal interview, group discussion, and other parameters. Graduates from all streams are eligible to get admission into the ABM program of Manage. Let me also bring to your notice, sir, the laurels the program has backed. You'll be glad to know that we have succeeded in providing 100% campus placements to our students since inception. The average CTC offered by companies to managers has been showing an upward trend over the years. For the recent batch 21-23, which is receiving the convocation degree from you, the average CTC is 12.16 lakhs per annum, highest being 22 lakhs. And we have a couple of international placements too, at a package of 45 lakhs, excluding other perks and so on and so forth, which all put together can come to around 80 lakhs. As per the rankings in Outlook magazine 23, Manage has been ranked as the first best sectoral B school in agriculture. And similarly, Agriculture Today, another reputed magazine which specializes in agricultural aspects, ranked Manage as the third best B school in the country, next only to Ahmedabad and Lucknow. Business Today 2023 placed Manage at 37th position out of all B schools in the country. Well, in a way, good rankings and decent placements are akin to a seal of approval from the industry. Besides the performance of Manage alumni working in various organizations, is a testimony to the strength of this program. Coming to the teaching pedagogy that we adopt here, as you all are aware, the core of any management program is teaching pedagogy. Manage extensively uses case study method, discussions, group presentations, industrial visits, and also facilitates interface of students with industry leaders and involves them in live projects. These efforts transform our students with predominantly rural background into good techno managers. Through Samanvay guest lectures by the captains of agribusiness industry, the village visit program, the summer project, the winter project, the ABM program has been providing a very good connect to our students with the agribusiness industry. The teaching pedagogy adapted at Manage in a nutshell aims at making managers rather than teaching management. The curriculum of PGDM ABM program is periodically revised to make it in tune with the requirements of the industry, and we always take the help of all our stakeholders, agribusiness companies, teaching faculty, and our committees, our directors, etc. in revising this program as per the needs of the program. Right from the beginning, our ABM program has been having pan-India character. The students join from all over the country and from different universities spread across the nation. In the current batches, 22-24 and 23-25 put together, we have students from 19 states and 46 universities. The program has good gender ratio of 107 boys to 58 girls. We are proud to say that Manage PGDM ABM program is basically a student-driven program. The students at Manage learn, grow, and excel together in an energetic and multicultural environment. They have excellent opportunities to showcase their talents through various clubs like Agribusiness Club, Finance Club, Marketing Club, Cultural Club, Media Cell, etc. The level of involvement of the students in every activity is such that it may not be an exaggeration to call it as a student-driven program. Many students have also bagged first prizes in various events conducted by IMs, NITs, and all other reputed institutions in the country. And Manage also conducts its own B Fest program known as Krishi Chanakya, and this year's B Fest will be conducted during 15th and 16th of September 2023, and we are expecting a footfall of around 6,000 participants to participate through online mode and physical mode in this B Fest program. Many reputed institutions from different parts of the country have already registered for the forthcoming B Fest. Coming to infrastructure for this program, there is a continuous improvement in the infrastructure facilities made available to this program. Excellent classrooms, hostel rooms, dining hall, conference halls, library, etc. They contribute and they provide us, they enable us to provide best quality of education to our students. The sports and recreation facilities include tennis, squash, badminton, table tennis, billiards, and other indoor games. Manage also has a health center with a resident doctor. The new Krishi Chanakya block inaugurated by the Honorable Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare during the last convocation provides state-of-art facilities. And right now you are present here in this Krishi Chanakya block. We have been receiving excellent support from managed alumni, numbering around 1,200 who are spread across the entire spectrum of agribusiness. Today, managed alumni has the required critical mass in terms of numbers. We have been getting excellent support and cooperation from the managed alumni in strengthening the students' interface with the industry and in other critical areas like placements. We hope to strengthen this relationship further in other areas in the years to come. Some of the new initiatives and future developments include, and some of them our Director General has already mentioned, physical infrastructure for the students is continuously being strengthened, as already stated. A new state-of-art building, Krishi Chanukya, has been inaugurated. And to encourage students to study beyond the course curriculum, we have introduced what we call it as Own Your Book scheme, where we buy textbooks for the students and they are expected to read these textbooks in addition to the classroom sessions. The syllabus has been revised by rationalizing the credit load, and the new syllabus is being implemented, which is in tune with the industry's requirements. To familiarize our students with the functioning of the stock market, Student Stock Investment Scheme has been introduced and it is functioning very well. After coming over here, many of the students they pick up the art of investing in the stock market. To make the student community environmentally conscious at the initiative of our Director General, we have introduced what we call Me and My Plant, where every student will plant a sapling with their badge, with their name and the patch around the tree, and they groom this sapling for 2 years, and later on it will be taken care of by the juniors. And once they come back to manage, there is something for them to welcome them. It will go into a tree, and they can just see what they have just done here at Manage for Environment. And in this year, we have also introduced a new club, Paryavaran, to promote environmental friendly activities. So this will take care of all aspects related to environment. Manage has entered into an MOU with Nottingham University, Malaysia, which is ranked quite well among the universities in the world. And the first student exposure program was organized in the month of July, and they were back here on 22nd. It is from 3rd to 22nd it was organized, and we had the permission of ministry for this program. We have introduced a scheme of corporate sponsoring cash prizes for the students excelling in curricular and co-curricular activities. Quite a number of corporates, individuals have come forward to sponsor cash prizes for the students who have excelled in academic and non-academic activities. To honor gold medalists who have excelled in academics over the years, we have introduced what we call Hall of Fame, where the photographs will be permanently displayed in a prominent place. Success, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, has got several dimensions. One such dimension is what individual has contributed to the society. To inculcate sensitivity towards people at the bottom of the society, ABM, we have started a club known as Mansar Club. Through this club, mentally challenged. The whole objective of this Mansar Club here is to inculcate some kind of a sensitivity to the other side of the world, which is usually forgotten and neglected. So once tomorrow they become CEOs, top people in a company, they just remember what they have done here as the members of Mansar Club, and possibly they will involve their company in carrying out the social welfare activities. That's the whole. In conclusion, I take this opportunity to thank Secretary Sir for being the chief guest on this occasion. I thank our Director General, Dr. P. Chandrasekhar Garu, who is instrumental in taking this program to its current heights, and all the alumni, faculty, staff for their support and cooperation. Whatever manages today is because of the unstinted support from all the stakeholders. Thank you. May I now request the chief guest to administer the oath to all the students who have qualified to receive the postgraduate diploma. All students, please rise. And the sheet is given to you.
So I'll be administering the oath and just repeat after me. By virtue of the authority By virtue of the authority vested in me as chief guest for the occasion and chairman executive council of Manage, I do hereby admit each of these candidates to the postgraduate diploma in management, agri-business management, and charge them to prove worthy of the same throughout their life. Remember that your knowledge and intellectual attainment is the most sacred wealth of the nation. You shall, therefore, use it in a manner befitting the honor and dignity of your country and of your alma mater. You shall make every effort in all circumstances to uphold the dignity of your profession and integrity of your character. You shall endeavor in every way, through thought, word, and action, to bring about the well-being of farmers. You must live a well-disciplined life. Never forget the commandment of the sacred scripture. Thou shalt perform deeds that are commendable and no others. Thank you.
I request the chief guest to confer the diploma on the students who have satisfied all the requirements of the postgraduate diploma in agribusiness management, batch 2021-23. May I request the batch 21-23 who are present here to stand in line as per your roll numbers and come on to the dais to receive your convocation degree from the chief guest. As I read out the names, please come on to the dais. Mr. Adib Lakra. Mr. Adiraj Patania. Mr. Aditya Palagudi.
It's okay, not too much.
Mr. Gahan Maipal Babaji.
What, no? It's okay. No.
Miss Aishwarya Lakshmi.
You only remember. See this one.
Miss Akanksha.
Communist.
Miss Alu Reshma. Mr. Aman Alok Togo. Miss Angel Jemima. Mr. Ankur Shukla. Mr. Sheikh Muhammad Ali. Miss Matularuma. Mr. Banu Prakash Velmula. Mr. Bharat NS. Miss Boni Sravani. Goina Ayushri. Miss Chetipalli Sandhya Soumya. Mr. Pawan Kumar T. Miss Tuganapalli Kavyamala. Mr. Gaurav Bhaskar Kajali. Mr. Harshavardhana T. Miss Joyita Das. Jayavardhani Devi. Miss Joyita Das. Mr. Lokesh Kumar. Miss Kavya Shekhar Kerikalamatti.
Open your eyes.
Miss Kirti Bhavana. Miss Kuti Tejashwi. Miss Landa Rachana. Miss Manasa SN. Miss Manchineni Yamini. Mr. Mutyala Praveen Kumar. Miss Nandana Rao. Miss Niharika Rawat. Miss Nikita Shankar Yeri. Mr. Nunavak Lakshman. Miss P. Marasa. Miss Pankudi Maharotra. Miss Puja Mohan Dalal. Miss Poonam. Miss Prerna Singh. Divya Kumari. Ramdev Rao Raut. Mr. Rupesh Kumar Akinapalli. Mr. Sachin Soni. Mr. Sachin Lewis. Mr. Sarode Ganesh Milan. Mr. Satya Mohan Raja Reddy. Mr. Shiv Prasad Patil. Mr. Saurabh. Miss Vada Maharotram. Mr. Tanay Mishra. Miss Tejashwini Sharma. Mr. Totakura Yashwant Krishna. Miss Vanshika Arora. Prasad Chitapalli. Mr. Vatsal. Mr. Vishwas. Mr. Vivek Thodakar. Mr. Bhargav Reddy. Mr. Yashat Luke. So thank you for awarding the diplomas. May I now request you to present medals to the toppers of the Indian area. As I read out the names, please come and receive the medal from the chief guest. And the bronze medalist is Mr. Ahar Vaibhav Babaji. The silver medal goes to Pankudi Mehrotra.
कुछ भी नहीं पढ़े
And the gold medal goes to And there is one more gold medal for her, sponsored by Suresh Kumar sir in memory of his late wife, Suman Suresh Kumar. So I request the chief guest to present Ms. Suman Suresh Kumar's gold medal to Ms. Kavya. We have also have gold medals, silver medals, and bronze medals for other educational programs that Manish conducts. So can I request Vinita ji and Shailendra to come and announce the gold medalists for PGD AM, AEM, and PGD AWM.
So we now present the candidates of postgraduate diploma in agriculture extension management, PGDA program candidates for the medal awards. And sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winner of the gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal for the best academic performance of 15th batch of PGDA program. Gold medal goes to Priyanka S.
Sinan. Rahul.
Priyanka S for the gold medal. we also have another sponsored gold medal, Suman Suresh Kumar Gold Medal Award for the gold medalist. So,
everyone are coming.
the silver medal goes to Murugan Ji. And bronze medal to Shalini S. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winner of the gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal for the best academic performance of PGDA MOOC's 10th batch. And the gold medal is Mukku Shanmukh Raju. We have a sponsored gold medal for Suman Suresh Kumar Gold Medal in this category for Mr. Shanmukh Raju. Silver medal to Damodaran Nair, Divu Damodaran Nair. And bronze medal to Payal Devangan, PGDA MOOC's 10th batch. Payal Devangan, bronze medal. I also present the candidates who have been declared winner of gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal for the best academic performance of PGDA MOOC's 11th batch, and the gold medal goes to Madhuluta C. She is also managed consultant. And another sponsored gold medal, Suman Suresh Kumar Gold Medal, also for Madhuluta C. Silver medal, Biswadeep Jaina. We have one more silver medal in this category, Chamadia, who will be awarded in absentia. And the bronze medal goes to Dr. Zahur Ahmad Shah.
Postgraduate Diploma in Agri Warehousing Management, an online program offered through MOOCs. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winner of the gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal for the best academic performance in the 6th batch of PGDAWM program. The gold medal goes to Shri Snehal Sadasev Mahapankar. For his overall performance in 6th batch, Suman Suresh Kumar gold medal is also given to Sri Mahapankar. Silver medal goes to Sri PSRVS Vittal. Sri Vittal, silver medal. Bronze medal in absentia goes to Sri Rajendra. Sir, I also present the candidates who have been declared winners of gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal for the best academic performance in the 7th batch of PGDAWM program. The gold medal goes to Miss Katakam Math 3. For her overall performance in 6th batch, Suman Suresh Kumar gold medal is also awarded to Miss Mathri. Silver medal in absentia goes to Miss Kanchan Bhagavat. Bronze medal goes to Miss Kamala Swati.
Now we have felicitation of outstanding alumni by the chief guest. We now request the chief guest to honor the managed alumni for their outstanding contribution to agribusiness. As you are aware, Manage has an alumni base of around 100 alumni present across the entire spectrum of agribusiness in the country and outside the country. Senior positions in agribusiness industry and have immensely contributed for the growth of agribusiness. In every convocation, we would like to honor some of the eminent alumni who have made a mark in the area of agribusiness. This year, we have chosen 3 eminent managed alumni who have contributed in a significant way for the growth of agribusiness in different sectors. So this year, we would like to honor 3 eminent managed alumni, Mr. Praveen Becha, to come on to the dais. A word or two about Mr. Praveen Becha. He is an alumnus of Manage from class 98-2000. Mr. Praveen is a visionary leader and an accomplished professional and has carved his path to success with remarkable achievements that speaks volumes about his dedication and expertise. He commenced his professional voyage as area sales manager at Coromandel International Limited and then as product manager at ICICI Hyderabad, followed by a tenure at Fullerton in India. Later, he joined as senior director at IDFC Bank and climbed up the ladder to become MD and CEO of IDFC First Bank Bank I request our Director General to kindly present a bouquet to Mr. Praveen Becha. pleasure, I invite Mr. Kuchipitra Srinivas from the batch 99-2001. Earlier as state manager at TCM Sriram and then moved forward as zonal head in operations at Reliance Limited. He continued his journey and moved into the world of startups and innovation. In this journey, we particularly remember his role at iFarm Ventures. This experience paved the way for his rise to the position of CEO at Frontier Growth Advisors. Presently, Mr. Srinivas is a partner in Food and Agribusiness Division of KPMG India. I welcome Mr. Sanjeev Mist, our esteemed. A word about him. His whole journey is a tale of achievement that continues to inspire all the managers. Beginning of his voyage with ITC Limited, Mr. Sanjeev's legacy is one of relentless pursuit of excellence. From his role as supply chain manager, he became business head for spices and aqua division at ITC. He further climbed up the ladder to become vice president for value-added products at ITC, and his story continues. May I now request the chief guest, sir, to deliver the convocation address.
The Director General Manage, Mr. Reddy, the Director for the Program, faculty for Manage, other staff of Manage, Mr. Suresh Kumar, who was the first Director General, and Mr. Desai, who was the first Director of this distinguished institution. All the graduates who are passing out from the portals of this hallowed institution, and those who have completed half of their course duration in this institution. And I can evidently make out by the sizes that there has been an increase in the batch size, which I think augurs very well. I'd also like to welcome all the medal winners from different courses, the Agri Warehouse course, the Agri Extension course who are present here, the families of students for whom it's, I think, a very proud moment to see their children graduating and doing so well. Others who are present here, distinguished guests, media, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to be here on this occasion. For those of you who will be graduating today, I think it's a very significant moment in your life. Till now, these 2 years, you were happy with friends in a very enclosed environment, where I think the toughest job was getting up in the morning probably to study and scoring well in your exams. And now you will be entering into a world which will, test and assess your skills in a very real-time manner. And perhaps these would be the tests which you would have to, pass or work with and learn and move around in your life. What I'll do is, I think it's been, I'll just take a little bit of time in explaining what I see as the future, especially in the agri sector, just to contextualize, because all of you would be moving out, and I think the next 30 years, 20 years will be playing a very important role in the making of India, if I can put it so. And then in the end, which is obligatory in all such passing out graduates, let's say, preaching as to how one should. But I'll keep to the minimum. I don't like preaching. First of all, let me tell you that it's a very exciting time to be in India. And why would I say it's exciting? If you look around globally, you would have seen that India historically, and this is based on data. There is a person called Angus Madison who had done a lot of work collecting GDP figures. Around 1500, 1600, India and China were the biggest countries with the biggest GDP, and per capita terms also the richest countries around the world. Over the years, situation changed, but what we have seen in the last century is we've seen countries shifting from being poor countries to developed countries in just 2 decades. Just 20 years. I can name hundreds of examples which you would know, country after country, which took off. Somehow India missed that bus. We started growing till 91, we were a very controlled economy. We did start growing, and like the last 2 years, we've been growing at one of the highest rates globally. But what the expectation is that these 2 decades could be India's decade. Because of the situation around the world and what is happening and the position we are in. The requisites we have in terms of manpower, in terms of aspirations, in terms of the impetus which would be required for growth, in terms of political will, in terms of the framework, policy framework which would be required, are being put in place or already there. And there is no reason why India should not grow at a, let's say, an 8% growth per year. And if we do that, we can leapfrog, let's say by, as we say, in 100 years of India's independence in 2047, to a developed nation. Which means, if you take it at per capita, or if you take our GDP is around $3.7 trillion, it will be around, in real terms, 15-16 trillion, which means, even in per capita terms, increasing our income 4 or 5 times. Second thing which is interesting about our country, and which is different than those countries which have gone on the development path, is that we are still a very structurally an agrarian economy. What do I mean by that? If you look at countries like USA, which are developed, agriculture contributes 2% to the GDP. And that's the amount of people who are linked with agriculture in any way. Even if you take China, or you take Indonesia, or you take Vietnam, you would find that in India, agriculture contributes 18% to the economy. In these countries also, I think it will be 15, 16, 14. But the people who are dependent would not be more than 25, 26, 27%. Otherwise, it's less than 20%, and developed countries it is in single digit. But in our country, still 50% of the people depend on agriculture. What does that mean? The other thing I would like to point out in a very strategic sense is, there is something known as a development path for countries. You grow, you are an agrarian economy, people shift from agriculture to manufacturing, and then they go into services. In India, what has happened is there is something known as premature deindustrialization. We never put so many people from the agriculture sector into the manufacturing sector. We didn't follow that path. We grew a little bit, but then as manufacturing sector's contribution to the total economy decreased subsequently. And we call it premature deindustrialization, because at a certain contribution of the total economy, or as a certain percentage of people employed in the economy, and then gradually it comes down and people move into services. That didn't happen. And that is the reason the growth in India would have to be fueled through rural India and through agriculture. Because we don't have that. You see what's happening, you see the geopolitical situation, countries are actually closing. That was a time when countries opened up, trade was free, so you could become very easily an export-oriented economy. Things have changed now. Geopolitical country stances have hardened, and people are putting up trade barriers. You would have seen recently what's happened. There was a bipolar world, and that changed, and there's a different, and that will have an impact on countries' development strategy. So I think the first lesson, which is very important for us, is that India has to grow at 8%, agriculture has to make a very significant contribution, because 50% of the people are there, because manufacturing per se, by itself, it depends on domestic demand, but the export demand may not be there that much. So therefore, it also means that there will be very good prospects for all of you in this sector, in rural India, and India's growth story in the coming years. But what does it mean? I think one interesting lesson which, as a country, we learned in 1991. Prior to that, we were a very controlled economy. Now, what does controlled mean? It means if your alumni from HDFC Bank, if he wants to do something, he would not have the freedom to do it. He would come for a certain license. You know that I want to do this, please give me a license. And some bureaucrat would, who may not be knowing it, may or may not be knowing that much about banking, would take a decision that this has to be done, that has to be done. In 1990s, where I think the youngsters would have been there used to be just two cars, a Fiat and an Ambassador. And if somebody wanted to increase their capacity to make more cars, they had to come to the government. So that was a very controlled licensing regime, which we did away. We did away, and then India's growth story was here. Point I'm trying to make is that India is very rich in entrepreneurship. I won't say management entrepreneurship or industrial entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship in the sense that every Indian or every person has the capability of what we call entrepreneurship, or we call it जुगाड़, और जहाँ पे दिक्कतें ज़्यादा होती है ना, वहाँ पे innovation automatically आ जाता है. That's the point I'm trying to make. And that is if we can collectively, as a country, unleash that. You know, the government through policy, but a lot of you as youngsters who are working in the field or who want to start your startups or want to do work, if you can, understand that and go forward, it is quite possible that we are able to, mass flourishing, I would call it, but there's a lot of entrepreneurship available. Third thing I would like to point out is whenever we go, I think when we are talking about agriculture, we have to, now understand third world problems. What are the problems in our country and find first world solutions. What do I mean by that? I mean by that is that since you are going fresh into career, I would still recommend, and I was telling your DG also, that it should be mandatory that we go and understand the life of a farmer for properly. Just to understand what the situation is. The closer you are to the ground, the more you put your hands or whatever you can call it, जितना ज़्यादा आप ज़मीन के पास रहेंगे, उतनी ज़्यादा आपकी उसकी understanding better होगी. And you will understand the problems which farmers in India, the people associated in the ecosystem face, and therefore your solutions would be to that extent better. So that is what I would say, that it's very important that keep your mind focused on understanding problems and then finding solutions. The Indian in agriculture, there are 6 or 7 areas which we see where a lot of value can either be created or unlocked. The first is, as your course is about, it's about our agri value chain. You would find right from the beginning, in terms if you talk about inputs, there is lack of knowledge about quality inputs for a farmer, lack of access, availability, and doesn't get the correct advice. Now these are all spaces. These are all spaces where value can be created and so on. You talk about marketing. When we started marketing, we had a very regulatory understanding of marketing. We took markets as physical spaces because we thought that farmers would get exploited. So it was a very restricted and a controlled marketing kind of. But market, what does it mean? The economics class you take, what does it say marketing is? It says there are many buyers, there are many sellers, nobody is a price maker, and there is no asymmetry of information. That's what a market is. And everything else can add transaction costs or bring down, disturb bring in inefficiency. Now there is so much of potential. The value we lose in terms of products, the inefficiency, the storage loss, the delay in time, not being able to match demand and supply. These are huge opportunities, and you find a lot of startups have come into this sector, and the turnover is increasing. They are able to match demand and supply. They are able to ensure efficient value chain, and they are able to create value because they cut down on wastage and losses and all. I think that's one big sector where there will be huge opportunities. Second is, with this climate change happening, unpredictable rain, heat waves. I don't know if globally you would have seen that this was the year when across Europe and all, this was the hottest summer. And they had, for the first time, perhaps deaths due to heat in many countries, which they never envisaged. And I think Indian air conditioning companies and fan companies would have must have made a lot of, sales there. So the fact I'm saying is it's a reality. How do we, and our farmers would have to grapple with it. Governments would have policies in place. And just an example is the carbon market sector. But the fact, how do we both control mitigation and adaptation would open up markets. It's going to be a global policy. It is a national policy. But how do you get it into the ground, and how do we ensure that the benefits go to the farmer? You see, everything we do, ultimately, we'll have to keep the person who is doing agriculture in mind and ensure that his well-being will improve. If his well-being improves and you're doing something on that, and you also, benefit from that, that will work. So that I think climate is the other thing. Third thing I feel is in this sector is about talking about sustainability. There's a lot of talk about excess use of chemicals, pesticides, things like that. There's a talk about sustainable farming. And I think the challenge there is to find solutions where there's no loss in production or yield. At the same time, you can do sustainable agriculture. Now, OECD countries and all, they have schemes for that. They give you money, subsidies, if the organic carbon in your soil grows. But I feel around this also there'll be markets opening, there'll be an impetus globally to shift to that, and we have to find creative solutions. The challenge right now is to get this kind of information or solutions to farmers where his yield, I mean, even if you take a slightly medium term kind of a thing, he doesn't lose economically or in terms of money, and yet he does sustainable agriculture. Similarly, I think in terms of farmer advisories, that's a field where getting precise and specific information to a farmer is necessary. And I find a lot of private companies working in this sector. Where they have local systems for collecting information, maybe data about weather, temperature, pest, sensors in the ground for things like that, and providing advisory. That is one field was when I am slightly further in my lecture, I tell you what we are doing for the government to enable that kind of an ecosystem. But that's another area which would be kind of opening up. Aggregation, FPOs. You see, 86% of our farmers are small and marginal. It's very difficult for a small farmer to kind of take risks or wait for something or get the economies of scale. So across the country, there are farmers organizations. You can call them cooperatives, or you can call them FPOs, which are business, farmer groups, SAGs. They are into this to bring about economies of scale. And I think they have across the country. So this is another area I think where a lot of scope is there for the private sector to come in. And obviously the fact that now India is one of the biggest producers in a number of food grains, and we are looking at exports. When we meet countries, representatives and all, the South countries, which means countries from Africa, countries from Latin America, are very, very interested in learning from India, and which never used to be the state of affairs. So there's a huge potential, as somebody mentioned, I think, your DG, while you were mentioning about the CTCs and all that, you were getting about 2 companies which are working in Africa and all. In fact, as of now, also our tractor industry, 40%, we hold 40% of the international market. Talk about pesticides, I think again 20% or something, if my figures are right. We have very big companies who are in this agrochemical segment and all. I envisage that there would be a lot of demand for Indian products, Indian goods, where we do that. Another area which comes to mind is, we talk about a lot about Israeli agriculture, we talk about precision agriculture. Now, my understanding is, that technology which we get from Israel, we get from other countries, there is a lot of requirement for, adjusting it to Indian conditions and fitting it in the Indian farmers' economic sphere. What I have seen is slightly because they were developed in a different ecosystem and for a specific objective, a lot of them, the technologies which are there would have to be kind of adjusted or a lot of them would have to, this is the trouble provided everywhere. So a lot of these solutions to work in India need to be tinkered with. Make it cost effective for a farmer, so that, and make it, if it's slightly high tech, there may not be maintenance for that, there may not be services for that. So all this entire industry which we talk about, precision agriculture, modern agriculture, sensor-based agriculture, or things like that, it's taken off in India, but in bits and pieces, and generally by the farmers who are well off, people who have understanding, who can invest in. The issue is if you want to take it to other farmers, 86% are, like I said, small and marginal, then we'll have to understand this and build an ecosystem around it. And these are all opportunities, huge opportunities. The other thing which will probably come up now, because rural India is not as developed as urban India, there's going to be a lot of focus on growth in rural India. If you've seen in the last 10 years, there's been a drastic change in, houses coming up, roads coming up, infrastructure coming up, and this is the latent demand, which if as the country is doing, we are investing big in infrastructure. This would create, a cycle of investment, work, money in the rural areas, which should push up demand for value-based, agri-value added products. So that would be another field which would come in where you add the value to raw products. The demand would also come and from the rural areas. So broadly, I think without I just summarize what I said. What I'm trying to put across is that our growth strategy would be very different from what has been the story of other Asian countries because of the facts I stated. Number one, we are an agrarian economy. Number two, the changing geopolitical situation. Number three, that if we have to get a 8% growth, it has to come from our rural areas and agriculture sector, at least for the next 2 decades. Then you may find a shift of people going to but the demand has to come from this. And which means primarily agriculture, at least for the next 50 years. And I just mentioned some areas. There are many others. You would be knowing, you have 2 or 10 lectures, so you would be knowing much more than me. But I just pinpointed some of those areas which the government is also focusing on, and I think opportunities will open up. And a very interesting thing and a very fascinating and heartening thing is to see the large number of, agri startup companies which have come up in the recent years. And when I do meet them, every time I meet them, it's very refreshing and heartening. Why is it refreshing and heartening? It's very heartening to see, the mindset which is applying itself and finding solutions. It's these kind of, we don't think like that in the government. Our thinking is we're not supposed to be innovators to that extent. So our thinking, so it's very refreshing when you see, ये problem है, इस तरह से already solve कर दिया. And the government is also trying to make a policy which enables startups. We have these RKVI, every department in the government has startups. But we also need to have an ecosystem where, say, a person has a good idea, he is able to, translate into a product very quickly. One example I would give you is very simply like if somebody has a product which is innovative, then government systems don't have guidelines to certify it. Now, by definition, an innovative product will be something different than what is there. But we don't have guidelines, so we don't certify it. Then, because it's not certified, it's not able to sell. So these are small problems which are there, which are being addressed. But I feel that there is so much of potential in this country. And I think we should be happy that we didn't develop earlier. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had much to do. So we are waiting for your generation. And the next 20 years, I think it's a huge opportunity for you. You're graduating at the right time, let me tell you that. And things will open up, an ecosystem would be facilitative, and the fact that growth is going to come from the agriculture sector is I think puts more responsibility on you. So as you're going in your career, I think don't bother too much about your CTCs or BTCs or DTCs, whatever you call them. It's fine, you need to lead a comfortable life. But do take time out to understand issues which farmers face. What are the challenges in India? They are myriad. And like I said earlier, spend some time earlier on that. Once your understanding is very clear, I can assure you, you're thinking, you're finding solutions and finding opportunities in problems would be developed, and you would move ahead. You would move ahead, and you would definitely do well wherever you go. So that is just painting a scenario for the future that just because you'll be going out and you'll be worried and anxious, telling you no, it's a very It's a world full of opportunities, and there'll be a number of jobs. The sector would be opening up, and especially so the demand therefore would be people with skills like this, who can marry both, an agricultural background, a management this thing, and understanding the field reality. So it's a three-legged kind of a thing. Your deep knowledge of agriculture, I would repeat again, your management which brings in a generalist kind of a thing and understanding complexity, design thinking kind of a this thing, plus the real field reality. Because ultimately books can teach you up to there's a limit what you can learn from books. And it's more of what you experience, what you learn, that will teach you much more. So I think that is something you should keep in mind. And just three or four thoughts I would leave you with. First is something very essential for you as you are graduating is your curiosity. Please keep it intact. I think there's a famous convocation speech. I think Steve Jobs or somebody says, "Stay foolish and stay hungry." Hungry, though, you must be meaning fire in the belly, so you don't relax. But stay foolish means what? Stay foolish means don't start being arrogant. कि मुझे पता है, मुझे आ गया है, because it's a complex world. It's a very difficult. And if you are humble and curious, you keep on learning. So the point he was making is don't stop learning. As you stop learning, then it's you stop growing, you stop finding solutions. So I think that's the first thing I would say is that remain curious and humble. Anybody and everybody, it's an opportunity to learn. Be open to that. Anybody, even you're walking on the street, you talk to a person, there is so much one can learn. You go to a rickshaw guy, you talk to him nicely, there is so much he will tell you what is today for him. So be curious. Second thing I would say is, I think which is important is, I think when you were having your distribution of certificates, sometimes some people would, give a loud shout or make some noise about a particular person. It's very important to, in this world, to have good, friends, social circle, family, relationships, and you need to invest in that. Don't have to be, number one in everything and say I am this. It's more about understanding people, investing in them, understanding them. I mean, there's so many studies. What has happened is in this decade, mental issues have become huge. I think it's a number one health problem, and I was very surprised to see in USA mental issues and all. Then they get into how to be happy. Then you do research, and Harvard has done a 75 days research. Essentially, what do they come out with? Basically, they said persons who were the happiest were the ones who had the best relationships. Relationships with their family, with their parents, or with their children, or with their wife, with their spouses, with their friends, people in their colleagues. So I think that's very important. Please keep that perspective in mind, that relationships and investing in people is something which is very important. Third, I would say is that when you're living life, you would have certain core values. And you need to define them very well and stand by them. I mean, you can take a call, whatever you want to be, you can. But there's certain type of values which would perhaps, leave you feeling better at the end of it. And I think this is the time where you would have a set of values. It's good to know about it, good to stick to it, whatever happens. Because these things are very, very, very important, I think, as you go ahead. So I think the last thing, which is all encompassing, is all I would say is that be a good human being. And if be a good human being, so I would not say that you become the best or achieve that or achieve that. I think that's a byproduct of being a good human person, a good human being. And it encompasses everything. If you're a little bit, like I said, humble, curious, you keep on learning from others, you understand that you could be wrong a number of times. Second, you have a perspective where you're caring about people. The fact that you care about people, and that's the flip side of all these relationship studies. But who has good relationships? People have good relationships actually if they care about others. If all the time you're inside, thinking just about yourself and not thinking about what the other person's perspective is, you lose out on that. So people who have good relationships also invest in others in a very natural manner, and it's important that we kind of develop that. And third is, I said, basic values which you feel. I think everybody has different values. So there could be Mahatma Gandhi, there could be Mother Teresa, then there could be Arshad Mehta, and I'm not taking a value judgment or anything, but there's a whole spectrum of values. It's up to you where you want to go, what you want to go, but do have some North Pole where you want to go. Nobody can be the North Pole, but you should have very clear, and whenever there are decisions to be taken where where you could slip on the other side, think which direction you want to go. It's very important. Because at the end of the life, you have to answer yourself and feel satisfied that I did this. And so that's the end of my preaching. The last thing, but I think it's important. You are youngsters, and since I've come for the convocation address, I share my thoughts with you. I'll again say it's a very good world out there, looking for people who are interested in actually understanding things and finding solutions to that. It's open. Second thing, which is good for you, it is India's growth is going to be dependent on this sector. So you have a good thing going in the coming year. And third, I'll say at the end of it, if you have those basic values and all, it's also important for you to be happy and satisfied and fulfilled in what you're doing. So that's all what I had to say to you. So I would again thank the DG, the faculty, and everybody here for giving me a chance and opportunity to be here and to share some thoughts with you. And also, once again, I want to wish all of the youngsters who are graduating and who would be working out, and maybe 15 years or 10 years later, maybe we need 5 or 6 of these rows where all these some of these youngsters will be coming here and taking awards from whoever will come here and the chief guest for the convocation. Then, and that's what we want to see, and I expect a lot of them to definitely be there. So thank you very much once again, and wish you all.
Thank you very much, sir. All the way coming from Delhi for gracing the occasion physically, taking time out of your busy schedule, giving insight into the next generation agriculture challenges, and also opportunity for agribusiness professionals. Message is very clear: stay hungry, stay foolish, but be a good human being. Great words, sir. Actually, we will try to inculcate in the programs what we are running. Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful speech. Now, we are at the end of convocation ceremony. This is about declaration of closing the ceremony. I would like to request Chief Guest, sir, may declare the convocation ceremony closed. Thank you, sir. I hereby thank you. I hereby declare the convocation is closed. Now I request everyone to stand up. They respect for the matter.
भारत माता की जय।